Have you ever stopped to think about how the world seems to be getting smaller, not in size but in space every day? You no longer need to leave your home or go very far to buy certain products, can you see? Cultural, economic, and even social differences are disappearing at such a fast pace that we can barely keep up. But here's a question for you to think about. Could these global connections, which seem so promising, not be in crisis? The fear of the United States and a single currency of the BRICS show this. Could these relationships not be hiding a dark side that we cannot see, due to the lack of competence of the media? In a world where progress brings bad consequences for cultures, local economies, and even for our planet, are we really building a better future? At the present time, I believe not. Or are we boarding a runaway train heading towards an inevitable disaster, which could be the strengthening of authoritarianism and suprematism in the world? The media, schools, and newspapers show us three paths on this road called globalization. And all of this is uneven and combined. One view is through real life, our everyday lives. Another that seems like a fairy tale, told by the rich, in a world that can be very good for everyone. I take a world like this from the perspective of the least needy as a basic. We will explore the incredible opportunities it offers us, but also the frightening threats that lie in wait. Understanding what is at stake can be the key to protecting what is most important to your life and your future, your family. What we are about to reveal can completely change the way you see the world. Now, think for a moment. What would it be like to live in a world without connections between countries? Without access to technology that connects people? Without imported products that make everyday life easier? Without the cultural diversity that enriches our lives? Sounds strange and boring, doesn't it? This is what globalization, or globalitarianism, has brought us advances that have changed our lives for the better if we think about technological diffusion. But, at the same time, there is a price to all this. Large corporations gain strength in countries, while small local businesses struggle to survive. And the most complicated thing is that your life is monitored on the internet through social networks. Cultural traditions, which take centuries to form, are suffocated by a global standard imposed by the internet. And the cherry on the cake is the environmental impact. The incessant search for natural resources transforms natural landscapes into zones of exploitation. And the scariest thing? All of this happens slowly, so silently, that many times we only realize the damage when it is too late. The big question is, can you identify the dangers that globalization can bring to your community, your work, and even your identity? Hardly, right? One thing is certain, the school will not tell you. Teachers are worried about surviving in unhealthy working conditions. Sometimes you will discover truths that few people talk about, the benefits it brings, but also the risks it hides. And, in the end, you will have a choice. To be a passive observer and live your alienating and happy bliss, or to be someone who acts consciously in this connected world and at least questions it. Globalization is at the same time an open door to progress and a window to destruction. We are more connected than ever, but this connection also makes us more vulnerable and at the same time empowers our actions and denunciations. If we continue to ignore the imbalances it creates, the price may be too high. Fragile economies being crushed by multinational giants, the unbridled exploitation of natural resources pushing the planet to its limits, and the loss of cultural identities that make us unique. So what can we expect from globalization? Exactly what we allow it to be. Money for the richest and misery and death for the poorest. If we don't act forcefully and in a coordinated manner, we will be just passengers on this runaway train. But if we are attentive and aware, we can observe this process and think about a better world. Remember that everything happens through thought. We will continue to be blind to the inequalities of risks while we are enchanted by the benefits that the school tells us we will have, but only if we make an effort. It is time to face this issue head-on, before the decisions we make today determine a future we do not want to live. See you in the next video.